How's it going, everybody? I'm Jason with the Review Suite. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a magnetic VESA mount for your iPad Pro. Putting together this VESA mount is very easy and it does not require a lot of tools. As far as costs, it will really depend on what materials you have access to. So here's what you're going to need. First, you're going to need the Moco Smart Folio case. Moco makes this slim folio case for the 11-inch and 12.9-inch iPad Pro, so choose accordingly. Next, you're going to need some Scotch extremely strong fasteners. This next item is a 3D printed VESA plate. Now, if you don't have access to a 3D printer, you could always use something like a piece of plywood or some thin sheet metal. Now, the reason we are using a piece of material between the Moco case and the VESA mount is because we do not want to drill holes in the back of the Moco case. And we don't want screw heads rubbing up against the back of your iPad Pro. Now, if you use this 3D printed VESA plate or a piece of sheet metal, you want to use machine screws. If you go with a piece of wood, make sure you have wood screws. And finally, if you're going to use wood, I recommend using birch wood. You can get birch pretty cheap at like a craft store or at a hardware store. Just make sure that it is at least 1/4 of an inch thick. All right, so now that we have the materials covered, let's put everything together. So the first thing you want to do is cut the Moco case. Now you can cut this with a pair of scissors, but for a nice clean cut, I recommend a razor or X-Acto knife. Now, after you cut the case in half, you want to turn it over to the finished side, and then you want to find the center. Now, after you find the center, you want to adhere your Scotch fasteners. Now, I really like these fasteners a lot because they come in various sizes, and they can hold up to 10 pounds. Now, once the fasteners are secured to the back of the Moco case, we can begin to prep the VESA plate. From here, you want to follow the same steps. You want to take your plate and find the center. And then after we find the center, we want to line up the plate with the back of the adhesive on the Moco case. So as you can see, these fasteners are very strong and it's starting to look like something. So now we want to attach the VESA plate to the VESA mount. Now again, if you're using this VESA plate or a piece of metal, you want to use machine screws. If your VESA plate is made from wood, you want to use wood screws. For the VESA plate, I'm using these Everbuilt 3/8 inch screws. All right, so the VESA plate is attached to the VESA mount, so all we have to do now is attach the Moco case. And just like that, you have a DIY magnetic VESA mount for your iPad Pro. But that's going to do it for this video. All of the parts that I used to make this VESA mount will be in the description box. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.